Is this visible? Can you see
Yes,
the
ma'am.
screen? Yeah? Okay.
Yes, yes.
So we started with in EDP. Did we start with process? Did we finish with process and phases of EDP, Entrepreneurship Development Program? Did we finish the pre-training phase? Yeah, anybody? Okay, all right. We started with the phases of EDP. Now, EDP is for those who have an idea, but then they don't know. The entrepreneurs, the future entrepreneurs, they have they have developed some ideas in their mind, but then how to begin with that idea and how to actually incorporate, some people are not aware of, because we are actually targeting, or when we say entrepreneurs, meaning we are first generation entrepreneurs, meaning first generation entrepreneurs who don't have any entrepreneurial background, business background. So for them, it's a new thing, it's a new venture. So they have this little, maybe they are not aware about all the angles. So for such people, these EDPs are developed. So those who want to opt for these EDPs, EDP is designed into three phases: pre-training phase, training phase, and post-training phase. Now, what happens in case of pre-training? Uh, this requires the preparation required to launch a program come under this phase. Now, I have to launch an entrepreneurial program, so it comes under pre-training phase. Now, I cannot, as and when I feel, as and when an organization feel, I cannot launch it. Like that, they were discussing that program for the ones who want to start their operations into production. They want, somebody wants to manufacture. So for them, EDP would be different than those who want to start from service industry. So for them, there would be some differentiation and offering would also differ. So in training phase, these are the things which we are going to understand, the needs and requirements of the ones who wish to join such EDPs. So accordingly, what all things we take into consideration? Along with designing the syllabus, which is a base, along with designing the syllabus, there is need to create infrastructure for training. Now, infrastructure may include, sessions, how you are going to conduct, online, offline, requires some computer setup. So this infrastructure development uh, is required to be created. Then training syllabus, tie up with guest faculty for training purpose who would be taking lectures. So tying up with those faculties for the training purpose. Selection of necessary tools and techniques to select suitable entrepreneurs. Now I am in the process of designing. So when I'm designing the syllabus, when I'm in the process of pre-training of the program, even I should have some plan to select the entrepreneurs. How am I going to select? Am I going to visit colleges and opt for campus interviews for the ones who wish to who wish to do, or through word of mouth, through publicity, by making use of social media? So how am I going to capture these entrepreneurs is what I have to look out for. So selecting the suitable entrepreneurs, what tools and techniques I'm going to implement, this also I have to think. Formation of selection committee for selecting trainees. Now I have, let's say, some 10 people shortlisted. Now, out of these 10 people, let's say for program, my capacity is to only include 6 to 7. So, few of them are to be rejected. So, how I am going to do the selection procedure? Would there be any group discussion or personal interview based on first come first serve, or merit, or based on the worth of the idea? So how am I going to select those candidates? So needs I need to have a well thought of plan for it. Arrangement for publicity, media, and campaigning for the program. If I have to do publicity, how am I going to do that? Even that plan has to be ready. Development of application form, selection of potential entrepreneurs, arrangement for inauguration. So all these things come under pre-training phase, pre-training phase of entrepreneurship development program. Then comes training. Actual training begins. Now, in this phase, the training program is launched in order to carry out necessary changes in the skills, attitude, and behavior of the participants. Now, the participants are with me. I have to mold them. I have to mold them to become the entrepreneur. So, I design this training phase in such a way that I can do necessary changes in their skills, attitude, behavior. For example, as a budding entrepreneur, I'm little skeptical towards taking risk. So how to overcome this maybe fear of not taking risk or whenever required. So how to overcome this? So that can be taught under training phase. Am I audible enough, students? Clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The motivational inputs such as psychological games, then tests, goal setting exercises, and role plays are also used for this purpose. Now, training does not only include training related to how to set up business. So, training includes other angles of teaching or other angles of development like psychological games, tests, goal setting exercises, role plays. Now, all these things, these psychological games and all, they prepare you mentally. They develop your mental abilities to take challenges, to work under pressure, to work with team, to work as group leader. So these tests objectives are some of the objectives are these, that they are preparing you mentally. The other training ways of making you aware about how to take finance and how to take, we can say, the necessary assistance from government. These are all things which are taught, but then those things are not preparing you mentally. Decision making and all, you are given some situation and then you are supposed to, the way you behave tells you or improves your decision making abilities, like that. The objectives of these inputs is to enable the participants to do self study, understand their personality and behavior, and bring about changes. So such psychological trainings are, psychological games and role plays, they are actually meant for self study. And in this way, I can also understand my entrepreneurial personality. What sort of entrepreneurial personality I am. I'm a risk taker, or I am a calculated risk taker, or I just uh, like to innovate and come up with ideas, but execution is something which I am not very good at. So it helps, these tests or these games helps person understand his own personality. So that is covered under training phase. And then comes post training. Post training meaning follow up. Basically, you are now out of the program or you have finished with the program. But then just you have finished doesn't mean that the relationship of that person with the organizers end there. There needs to be some sort of follow up or follow up assistance, or maybe assistance in some other form is being given. So that comes under post training phase. So follow up is very essential for the success of EDP. The ultimate objective of EDP is to make the participants start their industries or start their ventures. Now, in this phase therefore involves assessment as to how far the objectives of these programs has been achieved. The person successfully completes the program, he gets the certification, he goes away. But then the success of program doesn't end there. The program is meant for someone to start his venture. Now I am assisting him, I am preparing him as a program coordinator or as a program organizer. I am assisting the budding entrepreneurs. Now, first phase of it would be successfully enrolling and completing, which the person has done. Person has undergone the training and he has done it successfully. But then it is not only meant to gain knowledge. He has to apply his knowledge and he has to actually now begin the operations. All right. So follow-up activities say, I come to know that whether the person has really initiated his venture or not. The person where he is he still gathering information, is he still meeting people and explaining them the idea, or has he met the officials, is he talking about getting the finance for his project, so where he is. So this I come to know after that this I come to know through post training phase, that is basically feedback or follow up phase. Some of the activities in the follow-up processes are preparing and maintaining file for the training. Then the card is maintained where the progress is recorded from time to time. Keeping in touch with each participant through letters and then contacting by personal visits and conducting the follow-up meetings and maintaining follow-up register to ensure the success of EDP. So basically, this is kind of record keeping phase. But then that record keeping is very essential because the success of the development program is dependent on this post training phase. So how I begin this post training phase by maintaining the file of the candidates, by maintaining their card, preparing their progress card. जैसे हमारा progress report होता है, sort of that. So preparing that progress card, then time to time filling up the information as and when any assistance, further assistance is required, then guiding, sometimes by a personal visit to the entrepreneur to see whether the activities are at as per the schedule or not. So this is what is happening, and this is how the EDP program is implemented. So these are the three phases: pre-training, training, and post-training. All right. Now we saw the phases, but then important factor here is the one who conducts. So that is the person is known as mentor. Mentor, the guide. So what role the guide plays here? What is the role of mentor in this entire process of EDP? So ideally, the mentor is not uh, will not so much to give advice as coach. There is difference between mentor and coach. Coach is the one who is always behind his trainees. Trainer or coach is always behind his trainees. So he is closely monitoring the progress of the trainees. What are they eating, how they are sleeping, at what time they are waking up, are they really undergoing their training effectively or not. So this is the job of a coach. We all have seen movies where Dangal and Chak De India, where we see that how the coach is behaving. He is closely monitoring the progress. Each and every, we can say, the angle he gives importance to, and accordingly he acts on the trainees so that they improve on their behavior as well as their performance. The activities are closely related. But then mentor is not somebody like a coach or a trainer. So who is a mentor? An ideal mentor is someone who is actively involved in the direction of his or own successful business. He is doing his or her own successful business. He is actively involved in it. but he is providing the direction as and when is asked. Required नहीं, asked. अगर कोई पूछता है, if somebody asks, then only the mentor gives the direction. But then that direction has to be appropriate one according to the mentor. And the ones जो उनके mentees है, जो उनके followers है, they should know to whom to contact at what time. If I am in trouble, or let's say if I require financial help, to whom to ask. If I require just psychological help, to whom to ask. If I require just to pass the time, just to be comfortable, or just to live the current situation, to whom to contact. So these are all mentors. The friends can also be your mentors, but then such friends, they they also have these categories: the one who helps, the one who supports, the one who just listens, like that. The good mentor should also be accessible, not all the time, but he or she should be able to devote enough time to assisting you in truly broadening and deepening your understanding in ways you could not have done for yourself. So, as I said, the mentor is not there with the trainees or the mentees 24/7. But as and when the mentees require help, they can get it from their mentor. So he should not be accessible all the time, but then he should be able to devote enough time to assist you. So as and when he has time, and if you are asking his help during that time, then it is the job of the mentor to devote enough time to assist you in truly broadening and deepening your understanding in ways you could not have done for yourself. So he should assist you in broadening your understanding, making you aware about few things, and should also help you deeply understand few of the things. So though he is not available all the time, but he should spend some quality time as and when required by you. Your mentor's communication style should be direct but then supportive. He should not hide anything. So the role here the mentor plays is somebody who is supportive, but then he is directly communicating, openly communicating. He should not hide anything when he is talking to you. You should not hide any information, let's say, when he is talking to his followers. He or she should have the ability to help you see problems and challenges before they happen. So, if you are asking his help, the person should be in a position to, क्या बोलते हैं कि before the things happen, he should sense that I think this is what is going to happen. So, out of his experience and his knowledge, he is expected to visualize few of the things. He is expected to do understand the situations before they actually take place. Foresightness जिसको बोलते हैं, and should correct course in your own and in your company's performance early. And he should also give you some kind of solution. He should sense the problem and could give up could give you some kind of solution according to him, whether it is appropriate, inappropriate. Now we assume that it is appropriate because it is coming from an experienced person, so it would be appropriate, but then this is what he is expected to do. So we are understanding the role of the mentor. Mentor should be able to supply vital constructive criticism and a well-rounded objective point of view, meaning he should always not praise you, oh how well you are doing, oh you are doing a great job. If at all you are making any mistake, if at all you are committing any mistake, then he should give the proper criticism for it. He should criticize you as well. He should not, though he is your mentor, he should not only praise you. If at all you are doing something wrong, he should tell you that no, this is not expected, or you should not do this and that. So he should be in a position to express his viewpoint clearly, explicitly. Some experts even advise looking outside your own industry until you find, until they find confidence on you. So it's not that the mentor is only expected to give the knowledge related to your industry. They should also tell you what is happening outside your industry, because in this way they are preparing you for the future. मेरे सराउंडिंग में क्या हो रहा है, what is happening in my surrounding. I should not have only one viewpoint, and that is related to my industry. This will not take you miles further. What is happening surrounding me, meaning you should have fair idea about the overall surrounding. I should not only focus on what is happening in IT. I should also know how, how what is happening in IT affects construction, affects retail, affects the other sectors. I should have a fair idea. Now, don't seek friendship from a mentor. As a mentee, as a follower, don't seek friendship from the mentor, but the should look the depth of the knowledge and the character. Though he is advising you, though he is very friendly, behaving with you, but then you should not only look at these qualities of the mentor. You should also look for the what kind of knowledge he has, what kind of character he plays, and look for someone who you can trust and will remain candid yet supportive. So basically, it is very important for you to choose the mentor appropriately. Now, how can mentor help you accomplish? What can mentor help you accomplish? So, in what all ways he can help you? He helps you to stay focused on your goals and objectives. He's always there to support. He will not let you deviate. यहाँ से यहाँ जाने नहीं देते. So they always uh, help you stay focused on your goals. A good mentor can help a fledgling entrepreneur think through strategies, crunch members, and create a business or a marketing plan. So they are helping you in what all senses the mentor helps you. They are helping you to develop strategies. They are helping you to crunch numbers, to work with numbers, to track the numbers. Matlab, they are helping you to set goals and objectives. Objective for this year would be 10% rise. For next year, it would be 12%. So this way they are crunching, they are playing with the numbers and create a business or a marketing plan. They are also there to actually formulate that what all steps you have to follow when you are beginning your entrepreneurial venture. So step by step guidance in terms of creating business plan or marketing plan is also something which the mentor helps. His guidance can get you through rough times when your self-confidence may be waning and show you a new perspective and pathways to success. So truly speaking, mentor is actually your friend, philosopher and guide. Because he is not only sharing his knowledge, he is not only sharing his abilities and skills, he is not only helping you to foresee the events which are going to take place, but then he is also giving you the solution, and he is also helping you to be mentally strong in difficult times. Very important. Probably we don't understand the role of a mentor or friend, philosopher, guide, but then that is very important because uh, anybody can face difficult times, and then to overcome during that difficult time, ऐसे बोलते हैं भले भले लोग मुश्किल में पड़ जाते हैं when they have difficult times, but then you should, that is why, carefully choose the mentor, the friend or a philosopher or a guide. Coming back to entrepreneurship, well-connected mentor can also point you in the right direction for obtaining startup funds, seed money, operating capital, and can introduce to a wide network of contacts. So from business point of view, a mentor is very important. How he is helping us by obtaining the required funds, the startup funds, sometimes the seed money, the money which is required to start the business, operating capital to start the business, you require money, but then in the beginning you require money to take care of your operating expenses as well. So operating capital, and he can also introduce you to a wide network of contact. Now contacts are very important. Maybe through these contacts you get your orders, through these contacts you get continuous orders, through these contacts you become popular and become a known person in the area of the business. So for building these contacts, even a mentor is helping us. And additionally, the mentor may help you develop ideas in practical ways beyond those your experience can currently afford. So he is actually giving you the ground reality, and they are preparing, the mentors are preparing you for such experiences, which would be life learning experiences, and they are preparing us for that. A good mentor will also point out ways to make positive alterations that are responsive to changes your experience as your plans unfold. So basically, the mentor is there to guide you from all the angles. Very important role mentor plays here. Not only he helps you out with numbers, not only he helps you out with getting the financial assistance, but then he is also introducing you to his friends and to his network of contacts, which is very important. Psychologically also he is there to guide you, he is there to support you, and during difficult times again he is there to help you out. So this is what the role the mentor plays here. Now, there are various institutions who are devoted for ED, entrepreneurship development. So, we are going to see some 5, 6 such institutions. So, these institutions with some objective in the minds, they are formed, and they have a specific set of functions to perform. So the objectives and the functions and such related information we are now going to see with such institutions. Some 5 to 6 institutions are there. NIES NISBUD, इसका फुल फॉर्म होता है नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट फॉर एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डेवलपमेंट and National Institute for Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development, as the name suggests. So this particular institute, a national level institute, is for developing entrepreneurs or developing entrepreneurship, and also to develop small businesses. Guys, just give me 1 minute. So we are starting with NIES-BUD, National Institute for Entrepreneurship Development, Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development. This is the apex body, the highest body for coordinating and overseeing the activities of various institutions and agencies engaged in entrepreneurship development, particularly in the area of small scale industry. So this is the apex body, highest authority for coordinating and overseeing the activities of various institutions. So they are basically those who want to uh, start with some ED, entrepreneurship development programs, particularly in the area of small scale industries. अभी small scale industries किनको बोलते हैं, that terminology we'll see in our coming sessions. See, there is difference between small scale and medium scale and large scale based on the capital and number of employees employed. The nomenclature is there. So this institution is basically to coordinate and oversee the the having a close look on how this entrepreneurship development activities in the area of small scale industries, the various institutions and agencies are implementing. So this body governs these working. This is the apex body. So what are the objectives of this NIESBUD NISBUD? To accelerate the process of entrepreneurship development throughout the country and among the small segments of the society. So the institution is required to accelerate to make the process faster. Which process? Process of developing entrepreneurship throughout the country and among the all segments of the society. Segments of the society, there would be people from like women section is there. Then we have people who are from uh, क्या बोलते हैं जिनको, they are earning less. So for them, there are some organizations who develop entrepreneurship development program. So उनको monitor करना, ये process accelerate करने is one of the important objective of this institution. To help agencies in carrying out activities related to PD, entrepreneurship development. So, what all activities are necessary to carry out the entrepreneurship development? Any institutes who are engaged in this, then this organization helps these institutions. For example, we have heard of cooperative societies. Fine. Similarly, uh, uh, just to give you an example, suppose uh, in my in my locality there is one group of people who are actively involved. Let's say these people are from the governing bodies of the cooperative societies. कोई secretary है या कोई chairman है, like these the people, they have come together, they formed one group, union, let's say community forum, and through that community forum they are actually running various programs. Let's say this corona vaccination is one such initiative. Second initiative would be helping these small vegetable vendors to set up their stalls in those dedicated societies, like that. Now one of the program of these unity forums is to help the underprivileged section of the society to start their entrepreneurial venture. Now these people, they are not taking any, let's say some money out of their pocket, but then still they require some kind of funding. So from whom they will ask help? So this institute, NIESBUD, and NISBUD Institute comes into picture. So they help such agencies and forums to carry out this entrepreneurial development activities. Clear? The example is clear. No, ऐसे होता है नहीं होता है reality में we don't know, but just to make the concept, the objective clear. To evolve the standardized process of selection, training, support, and sustenance to potential entrepreneurs, enabling them to set up and run their enterprises successfully. So this institution or this organization also comes up with standardized process. They have some programs for entrepreneurship development, and to make these programs available to people or the budding entrepreneurs, they have a standardized process of selection, training, and providing support to these entrepreneurs to start their ventures. So they are helping agencies also, and they have their own standardized program also to come up with entrepreneurship development. To provide information support to trainers, promoters, and entrepreneurs by organizing documentation and research work relevant to entrepreneurship development. For example, I have started my organization, but then I don't know from where to take this PAN for my business, or from where to take this GST certification, or where to pay the taxes, how to get some rebate, or इस तरह की कुछ चीजें हैं. So I need assistance for this. Now this institution provides assistance in these areas. Suppose an entrepreneur is weak as in he is not aware about getting these relevant certifications from government bodies. So NISBAD helps him out by properly providing documentation, properly providing contact details, contact numbers, and in this way it helps to provide functional forum for integration and exchange of experiences helpful for policy formulation and modification at various levels. So there are also many such programs organized by NISBAD where this exchange of information and experience takes place, which is very helpful for policy formulation and notification at various levels. So basically providing assistance is what this NISBAD is into. Functions. What are the functions of NISBAD? Evolving effective training strategy and methodology. So they have to come up with effective training program, the strategy and methodology to implement. Formulating scientific selection procedure to select the candidates for the programs. They are formulating the procedure, the scientific procedure. There would be, let's say, for example, there would be some entrance exam. Those who clear the exam, then those people are called for personal interview. Those who crack the personal interview then have another round of, let's say, HR interview, or again second personal interview, and then those who correct clear this second round of personal interview are only then selected for it. Then the institute is also supposed to standardize the syllabus for training. So documenting the syllabus is one factor. Developing training material, manual, and other tools. Then supporting other agencies engaged in entrepreneurship development, conducting programs for promoters and trainers, organizing these activities which help in developing the entrepreneurial culture, publishing literature for the further enhancement of entrepreneurship and small business development. So basically, if I have to tell you in a nutshell, basically these institutions are there to support the entrepreneurship. Now, in what all ways they can provide the support? They can formulate the training program. Then they have to select candidates for the training program. Who successfully pass out, they have to provide assistance. Another area which these people target is helping overall entrepreneurs, not those who have enrolled, but generally. If somebody asks for the support or assistance, then helping him out, because this is what they are formed for. Entrepreneurship development के लिए these organizations are formed for. So assisting in all the angles is what these institutions are meant for. So this is about NIES BUD, NISBAD. Let us see another such institution. Let me just open another slide. Can you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Second such institution is EDII, that is Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. Now, this has been focusing its attention on developing programs for entrepreneurship development and innovative training techniques for trainers. Again, we would be talking on same, we can say same lines, like uh, one uh, side, these institutions are providing the assistance and help, and in second way, they are coming up with entrepreneurship development programs. Techniques for the trainers. The institute has developed EDP for women and carried out experiments in rural development in villages. So this EDII has specifically developed development programs for women, and they have also carried out experiments in rural development in villages. So EDII is also targeting the women entrepreneurs. Women, they targeting as in they are coming up with EDPs, entrepreneurship development programs for women. Also, they are carrying out some experiments in rural development in villages. So they are actively involved in rural development as well. It conducts entrepreneurs meet. What all programs they are conducting? They are conducting entrepreneurs meet, training programs for trainers, and give professional assistance to various institutions for their developmental activities. So training programs are there, uh, जिसको summit बोलते हैं. तो entrepreneurs meet or entrepreneurs summit they are organizing. They are also giving professional assistance to various institutions for their development activities. For example, if I wish to have this entrepreneurship development program at college level, at my institute. So I have, like I tell my students that those who want to become an entrepreneur, the college is having entrepreneurship development cell. Now, यहाँ पे क्या होता है? Suppose I being the member of that cell, the college has designed the syllabus. So those who wish to opt for these entrepreneurship development, they come to us. We see how they are, we understand what their plans are. So just informally talking to them, afterwards taking their formal interviews. This is roughly I'm speaking. It has got nothing to do with actual rules and regulations and procedures. So after taking their personal interview, we select that okay, now these four students are really wish they are the future entrepreneurs is what we can see. So the program duration is for 3 months. So every Saturday, Sunday, these four students they come, they undergo the syllabus training modules, whatever they are supposed to learn, and they finish the course. And after 4 months, we send them to uh, a particular factory where they get hands-on experience related to their field. And then after successful completion of this 3 months uh, internship program, or let's say training program, we certify them that since you have successfully done this, and maybe any future assistance is required, you can anytime come to us. Then we take their follow up. After every month, we check with them. Have you started? Are you facing any difficulty? So if at all they face, they tell us, we try to find solution. So EDII is involved in such activities. They are giving professional assistance to various such institutions for these developmental activities. All right. Then we have DIC, District Industrial Centers. DICs, the primary objective of DIC is to generate employment by way of promoting micro, small, and medium enterprises, cottage and handicraft industries. See, these are options available. If I have to start my entrepreneurial venture, these are the options available. I can start uh, as somebody who is coming under micro. industries, then I have small and medium SME जिसको बोलते हैं, या फिर medium enterprises MSMEs, then cottage industries or handicraft industries. So DIC का main objective होता है to generate employment by way of promoting these industries. So DIC is this way helping these industries out. So if any cottage industry or handicraft industry is developed, automatically it will lead more and more employment generation. तो एक इंडस्ट्री सेटअप होने से आई कैन प्रोवाइड एम्प्लॉयमेंट टू 10 people, so 10 families we can say. So that is the primary objective of DIC. Function, important function is employment generation, motivating and guiding the entrepreneurs to start their ventures. DICs are motivating and guiding the entrepreneurs, rendering expert services to set up an enterprise effectively through single window committee. So to set up these enterprises, DICs, they are providing single window clearance. You know, you just visit our office and you don't have to go to many such windows. यहाँ से वहाँ से वहाँ, ऐसा नहीं है. All your work will be done in single window only. So DIC's one such function is to effectively set up this single window committee, so that the enterprise, in order to assist enterprises setting up their services. Conducting of motivation camps and dissemination meetings, very important. We are always, whenever we are discussing entrepreneurship, we are always talking about motivation, because that is really important. It happens that over a period of time, people get deviated. They are very good in terms of planning, but then actually execution which takes a lot of time, they may lose on their interest. Some of the other incidences come and they may have to leave and again look for employment outside. So इसीलिए this motivation is very important. Implementation of central or state government schemes. DIC's job is to also implement various central and state government schemes. Now these schemes are actually to assist. If handicraft industries are there, then there are some kind of assistance which is provided at government and central and state government. So I, as an entrepreneur, may not know all those things, because again, I may not know. I'm actually involved in setting up an enterprise. But then this is the job of the DIC to implement and to make the entrepreneurs aware about such initiatives. Then DICs also help in setting up enterprise, implementing subsidy schemes, testing facilities, and export guidance cell. Next step, plan B हो सकता है मेरा, that I want to expand. Now how I am expanding? For example, I am expanding horizontally. ऊपर जा रही हूँ, मतलब एक level से next level पे I am reaching. So first level was operating at domestic level, local level. Then comes operating at regional level. Then comes operating at national level, and then comes operating international. So उसके लिए I need to know the documentation, export documentation, procedure, rules and regulations are different when we are catering into global market. So how they are, how the functioning is, that is being provided through export guidance cell. Functioning of DICs and their achievement is monitored by Principal Secretary or Industry Commissioner and Director of Industries and Commerce. So these DICs come under the purview of Principal Secretary Industries or Industries Commissioner or Director of Industries and Commerce. Again, the government body here. So this is how the functioning is. To resolve the problems of industries or industrialists, there are two types of committee at district level. Single window clearance committee, district enterprises development consultative committee. So to take care of various queries of entrepreneurs, there are two types of committees which are set up at district level. Problems related to the industries or related to the industrialists. Related to the industry, sometimes I don't get the required certificate. I have to go to many places because I have, let's say, 2 or 3 different plants. So I get that certification from Single Window Clearance Scheme, SWCC, or uh, even this District Enterprise Development Consultative Committee is also there to help set up industries or to solve problems related to the industries. Then we have SISI, Small Industries Service Institutes, SISI. Now they are set up one in each state to provide consultancy and training to small and prospective entrepreneurs. Again, it's Government of India initiative, so they have set up these SISIs in each and every state to provide the consultancy and training to small and prospective entrepreneurs. Activities of SISIs are to, coordinated by the Industrial Management Training Division of DC SSI office, New Delhi. So basically, which is the body who is supporting SISI is what is written here. They are coordinated by, the activities of SISIs are coordinated by Industrial Management Training Division of DC SSI office, New Delhi. Am I audible, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So what are the functions of SISI? Assist existing and prospective entrepreneurs, conduct EDPs all over the country, testing of raw material and products of SSIs, and financial assistance. I hope, see, basically, it's MENA, there is nothing as such to teach because these organizations and institutions are meant for ED, entrepreneurship development. So when we are talking entrepreneurship development, these programs are always talking about assisting, then conducting EDPs, financial assistance, because this is the way you assist the entrepreneurs. So along with this, uh, SISI is also testing the raw material and products of SSI so that they can provide the market for these products. Then we have NEDB, NEDB, National Entrepreneurship Development Board. Now, this board, NEDB, National Entrepreneurship Development Board, devises and recommends to the government the scheme for promotion of entrepreneurship for encouraging self-employment in small-scale industries and small business. Now, through each and every such programs, the objectives are to develop entrepreneurship, but then where we are developing, for whom we are developing, and how we are developing. Now, there lies the difference. Now, 8 May, this DIC, the objective was to promote the small scale industries and women entrepreneurs. Now, this NEDB is basically encouraging the self-employment in small scale industries and small businesses. So those who want to start their activities at a smaller scale, huh, but छोटी सी इंडस्ट्री ही है and the small businesses, then for them this NEDB government recommends that you may take help under NEDB program. The board also recommends suitable facilities and incentives for entrepreneurship training. NEDB also has training facilities and incentives for the training. The main objective of this scheme is promotion of entrepreneurship for encouraging self-employment in small-scale industries and small businesses. All right. Functions: identify and remove entry barriers for potential entrepreneurs, including study on entrepreneurship development. So one of the important function of NEDB is to remove the entry barriers for first generation or new entrepreneurs. Now those entry barriers can be anything, maybe rivalry, या फिर market is quite saturated, so I am unable to enter. I am unable to fix the prices uh, which are right now in the market. Maybe I'm unable to get financial assistance so my production can begin. So Identifying such problems and removing the entry barriers for potential entrepreneurs is one such important function. Focusing on existing entrepreneurs in small sector and identifying and removing constraints to survival growth and continuously improve the performance. So basically, this MEDB focuses on the existing entrepreneurs who wish to operate at smaller scale or in small sector and removing such constraints. Facilitate consolidation, growth, and diversification of existing entrepreneurial venture in all possible ways. So the current ventures which are there, current enterprises, entrepreneurial enterprises which are there, this NEDB facilitates the consolidation, growth, and diversification. So the in a particular area, जैसे MIDC में होता है, MIDC में usually you will find block wise the industries are set up. So G block maybe is indicating all the chemical factories. So chemical mein there would be giants also and there would be small enterprises as well. So NEDB is identifying these ventures, these small entrepreneurial ventures, and there is the NEDB is helping them come together, grow and diversify. So in this way, they are providing assistance as well. This we'll finish with this last slide of NEDB. Then supporting skill upgradation and renewal of learning process among the practicing entrepreneurs and managers of small and medium enterprises. So their skill upgradation and renewal of learning processes. For example, for my business, suppose I need to do a basic course in digital marketing because I want to be now on digital platform. I have heard of it, but I don't know actually how it works, how it happens. So this can also be given to me, offered to me by NEDB. So skill upgradation or the renewal of learning processes, support in this regard can also be given by NEDB. Support agencies about the current requirement of growth in the area of entrepreneurship. Uh, so it also provides support to the agencies who are actually in the areas of a particular industry. Any support is required. जैसे because of locally the market is saturated. Vegetable की example लेते. Suppose I am unable to uh, sell the vegetable produce which I have. So I am unable to sell them. So sell them locally. So what do I have to do? I have to find another market. So that another market could be another state. Now to reach to another state, I require the network of transportation. So I might lack in that network. So NEDB in this way can support me. It also acts as catalyst to institutionalize the entrepreneurship development by supporting and strengthening state level institutions for entrepreneurship development. So this NEDB can in turn help these state level institutes which are dedicated to development. So by helping these institutions to progress. So one such important function of NEDB is to develop these institutions which are helping entrepreneurship development, make these institutions better. Last objective, setting up incubators for entrepreneurship development institutions and other organizations devoted to promotion of entrepreneurship development. So any help, incubator meaning any additional help, critical help which is required for the entrepreneurship development institutions, then NEDB is also there to support these organizations. So one way they are promoting these small scale industries, they are designing the training programs, they are also helping in upgrading the training programs. At the same time, NEDB is also supporting these institutions to progress better, and any institution who is in need of support. The institution which is developing entrepreneurship, who is in need of support, maybe उनकी जगह का लीज खत्म हो गया है, they may not have their permanent place, they may not have people, they may lack infrastructure. हाँ, तो ये entrepreneurship development institution की requirements fulfill करना भी one of the objective of NIDB is, NEDB is. I hope these institutions are clear. Fine. So we'll start with the new topic, or not new unit, new topic in the tomorrow's session. I hope it is clear. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So we'll stop here. And we'll meet you tomorrow.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.